then I choose you.
Be cool, baby, okay?
Hey, bitch, come here. Got your motherfucking man, come here.
Mr. Pretty Tony, I mean, you know the rules of the game. I mean, your bitch just chose me. Now we can settle this like you got some class, so we can get into some gangster shit.
Fuck being on some chill shit. We go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Hey, yo, what up? This is KMGZ on Blue Skies. Thanks for asking. Episode 365. I'm back as promised. So thank you for your patience. I'm gonna just let y'all know at the beginning, this is about to be a very gay, very WNBA episode. There's gonna be a few other things in there, but this is mainly what's gonna be about because I'm very excited about a lot of things, and I don't know how long it's gonna be, but so you know, just so y'all know. So let's get started. WNBA is back. So look. If y'all listen to this for a while, I mean, I've talked about it, but I don't know if I've emphasized it enough. I've been a WNBA fan since the inaugural season in '97, since Teaspoon hit the shot. I have always followed this league. I have been a big proponent of the league. Y'all have been pissing me off for a very long time, talking about how it's not all, you know, the league is not this and the games are boring and the shit that I can beat these girls. You cannot fucking beat these girls. These girls are ballers, okay? And a sidebar, shout out to that soccer commercial. There's a soccer commercial. I can't remember who it's for or what the commercial's for, but they show these men playing soccer and kicking the balls, and you know, and everybody's cheering, and it's so great. And then they show that actually those were the women playing the game, like they did a little software dupe with AI or something, I don't know, and they switched out the men for the women. And I loved it because it showed that's like, y'all motherfuckers are just talking shit because this is women's soccer that y'all, because I don't know, I guess it's the same as soccer where they say that, which I don't even understand because women's soccer has always been more popular, at least on the USA side, than men's. But the point was, a lot of you motherfuckers don't watch the games. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking shit, talking about the women can't play and you're better than women when you thought that was men's soccer until we showed you that was actually the women and they're actually good and doing the same shit. So bravo. I love that commercial. They probably need to do one for basketball because there's still a lot of you fucking mama's boys out here with your guts hanging over your belts thinking you could go out there and give Asia 20. Asia will send your shit to the fucking stands. Okay? But so let's get started. There's a lot to talk about, but let's get started. So the first, I want to get the bullshit out the way first. So last week when Chicago and played Indiana, or I don't know if it was last, it might have been 2 weeks ago now. Chicago played Indiana. Now look, I have been on here before talking about Caitlin Clark. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. Caitlin Clark is a baller. You know, I've never denied that she is good. Great, you know, she's not great yet, in my opinion, and on the floor. She's good. But she's only in her second year. What I've always said about Caitlin Clark is an outstanding passer. She sees the floor. She sees the floor really well. She's an outstanding passer. We know she has the three. She's a good. But as somebody who has been watching the WNBA for a long time, she's definitely not the best ever. She's not even the best on the court. And she's not the best even out of the college class. And I'm going to tell you why. And if you don't, this is how we can tell the difference between people who watch ball and people who don't. People who know ball, because you can watch ball and I know what the fuck you watching, and people who don't. When I was saying that Caitlin Clark is not that good, that's not saying that she's not good, because I said the same thing about Shador. Like, he's good. When somebody says they're not that good, we're not saying they're not good. We're saying we're not as good as you all are making it out, as all the hype as what people are making it. It's not that. And my issue with Caitlin Clark when she was at Iowa, she stood out at Iowa because, number one, she's playing on Iowa. Iowa is not a women's basketball powerhouse. It's not. Okay? She's playing in the league, not in the Big East, or the SEC, where the good school, where the really good elite schools are. If Caitlin Clark was that John Blaze, she would have been on UConn. No disrespect to South Carolina. South Carolina has, you know, We know what they've done, 3 in a row and all of that, but historically and long term, UConn is where the elite of the elite go to play ball because of the system. They got 12 chips now because of Gino, because of the tradition, because so many of their players go to the WNBA and are elite. Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Nafisa Collier, Paige Beckers now. I mean, we're going to talk about Paige in a minute. It's just, I forget, there's so many, I can't even remember them all now, but there are so many elite Women's USA basketball players that come from UConn. We know South Carolina also, Asia Wilson, Aaliyah Boston. We know that Dawn is building her thing down there too, but the elite but Dawn takes a certain type of player. So does Gino, but Dawn takes, put it like this. South Carolina is the school where if you John Blaze and you go to South Carolina, Dawn is going to get you ready for the pros for sure. She's going to show you how to play in the pros. She's going to show, in other words, she takes studs and puts them on a team, and they rock out, but she prepares them for the pros. Whereas UConn, it's more of a system. It's more of like, not that Gino takes players and it's like, it's almost like the Yankees, where he trains them in a certain process, a certain system, in a certain way, and that's why, low key, not everybody goes. Like Candace Parker didn't really get along with Gino. It's a certain type of player that will go to UConn, and Caitlin Clark is that type of player, but she didn't go to UConn because she wasn't skilled enough, and she's not that good, is what I'm saying. Not saying she's not good, but she is the exact kind of player that if Gino saw in her what he sees in Paige, what he saw in Diana, what he saw in Sue, what he saw in Nafisa, what he sees in all, if he'd have saw that in Caitlin would have been at UConn. That's all I'm saying, okay? Or LSU, because Moki is kind of similar, not Moki is more of a Dawn type coach, in my opinion. Actually, like, she was at Baylor. She's moved around, but she's not so much system as I'm going to show you how to play your position to ball out so that when you get to the pros, you ain't looking crazy. That's basically Kim and Moki's version, whereas Gino is more like, I'm going to show you already got the talent. You already like that, but I'm going to show you how to play in this system, and this is the system that's sends everybody that you will. This is the same system they play in the WNBA, and you will have, if you can be elite here, you will have no problem there. It's just a slight different philosophy, right? So think of what the Patriots do the Patriot way, as opposed to like what another team does. Like the Patriots, you put the elite players in that system, and that system is going to produce a championship. That's more like what UConn is, whereas what Dawn does is more like, I'm trying to think of a team. No, because the Eagles got to sit. Yeah, maybe what the Eagles do, where we gonna get all the motherfuckers that are excellent athletes, and we gonna put them in their positions, and we just gonna let them play their positions. That's more of like what SC is, right? So, Angel, I said all that to get back to this. I'm sorry, I kind of rambled there. But listen, this women's basketball thing, I do it, okay? And I be getting irritated with the people that want to be a part of it. Just watch the fucking games. If you don't, just like Bonani said, if you don't know what the fuck you talking about, and you don't know what the fuck you talking about, just shut the fuck up and watch the games, okay? So, they got into a little scuffle. Caitlin, I thought it was, first of all, let me back up. I think the WNBA needs better refs, more refs, better refs, quality refs, because they be calling bullshit in the WNBA. We understand that if you get the ball and you slide your foot a little bit, or take like a little maybe extra bounce, we understand that is technically a travel, but you don't call that shit. You don't call it in the NBA. You only call a travel when the motherfucker takes a whole ass step and it's actually egregious. These motherfuckers, if they get the ball, they dribble, they slide their foot. Oh, you calling the trap? Like, come on. They call double. They calling bullshit. Okay, that's the first thing. The refs are terrible. They take 5 minutes to review the most obvious calls that you could just watch the replay up on the tube and see, oh, okay, gonna reverse that. They be taking 5 fucking minutes to be so fucking terrible quality refereeing. They need to bring it up because it actually is downgrading the quality of the game. When you are calling little touch fouls and walks and double dribbles, like, nigga, we not in 6th grade. Cut that shit out. You call that kind of shit in like elementary school and middle school when you're trying to get the players to understand, you know, what the moves are and what the penalties are. You don't call that at elite level. Like, nigga, half the time Allen Iverson crossed over, that shit was a travel. Can you imagine if they blew up? Sorry, Ivy, you crossed it over, and when it was in the air, you moved. Like, come on, man, get out of here with that shit. So that gets on my nerves, right? So Angel and Caitlin Clark. The initial foul, this is what I want to say. The initial foul was just a hard foul. The reason that she got the flagrant is because she pushed her down. If you watch that play, people say Angel flopped. Angel did not flop. She pushed, she had her, they got hard foul, cool. They got tangled up. Angel was going to the floor anyway, but when she pushed her off, she made her Angel's legs were tangled up, and so she made her go down in a way that was unnatural, and she could have hurt herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you know you're going down, you brace yourself to go down the way, but when somebody push you and now your legs are caught up, now you're going down another way, and that's why Angel jumped up like that, because, bitch, you could have hurt me. I could have hurt myself. I've already got this foot injury, and I could have hurt myself because of how you pushed me. That's why Angel jumped up like that, okay? So, and if you no ball, you saw that. Was it egregious? No. Was it like when Draymond be choking people out? No. But if you saw it, you saw it for what it was. And that's why the refs called it. That's why the announcers saw it, because you pushed her in a way that made her fall in an unnatural direction. And she went down harder than she would have went down had you just not done that. And that's why Angel jumped up like that. Player reaction to when you do that type of shit to where, nigga, you could have just hurt me. That's a natural reaction. If that would have happened in the men's game, nobody would have said a word, first of all. Second of all, again, I'm tired. Listen, I want them. I don't understand what was wrong with the 90s rules. 90s rules, you jumped up, y'all got the boxing, we calling text, we kicking people out the game. Fine. Do that. You get kicked out enough games, your team lose, then you learn to calm the fuck down. It's not worth it. All of this flagrant foul, egregious foul, I hate that shit. Let them fucking foul. Let them fucking fight. When they done fighting, throw them out the fucking game. Y'all keep saying, oh, nobody wants to see that. Well, in the 90s, the ratings were way better. And y'all keep chasing those ratings, but y'all don't understand it. You putting all this childish shit into the game. Cut it out. So, but... And God bless Aaliyah Boston, because Aaliyah Boston, Angel was about to punch Small Wonder in the back of her head, and that would have been terrible. One thing I do want to say about Caitlin Clark, though, to me, Caitlin Clark is a bit of a punk, because I'm not saying she a punk to where she's scared. I don't really think she's scared. I don't think she's, like, intimidated, but I think she does little bitch shit, but, like, she don't really say nothing back until the people have come and gotten in between them. And I think that, I just think that's kind of corny. Like, as you compare that to Sophie Turner, who a lot of people don't like, but I like Sophie. We'll leave the little story that came out aside. I like Sophie. I've always liked her because Sophie ain't never been no punk. Sophie, you push Sophie down, Sophie gets in your face. Sophie claps back. Sophie ain't never needed nobody to break her up. She never needed Sophie is about that. And not only that, after you talk shit, she'll come down and drop one on your eye. So I like Sophie Turner. Like, so it wasn't that big of a deal. It was a little hullabaloo. Caitlyn threw a little shade. Oh, it was the thing I don't like about Caitlyn is, like, she does shit and then doesn't own up to it. You pushed her. Yes, there was a regular hard foul, yes, but you pushed her. You pushed her. So stop acting like she's overreacting, because you pushed her. And everybody on this court know you pushed her, because if you notice, not only did Angel's teammates run over, Caitlyn's teammates ran over too, because all of them saw that, like, hey, what you doing? They all saw it, right? So But what really got on my nerves about it is these grown ass men sniggling, giggling. You gotta understand, Angel and Caitlyn and all of them, these girls are 21, 22, 23. I don't think any of the newer girls are over 30 because, they just got drafted out of college. And you got these grown 40, 50, 60-year-old hard leg, like Lou always say, grown ass men just chitting and chattering, sniggling, giggling in women's business. Why are y'all so invested in, Robert Griffin III? It's clear that she, Angel doesn't like her. Nigga, you are a grown fucking man. You don't got no grass to cut. What are you talking about? These are 20-something-year-old young athletes, the best in the world. They gonna scrap. They gonna do all this. The Angel done said 500,000 times she don't dislike the girl. They not best friends. They competitors. Larry Bird and Michael Jordan and Magic and them used to go at this shit all the time. They did not dislike each other. They was just competitors. Okay, they weren't buddy on the court. That's what y'all used to. Y'all used to this men's game shit where it's no competition, it's no fire, it's no rivalries. Everybody out there just sniggling and giggling and everything. That's what y'all used to. The women's game is not like that because they take rivalries from the AAU. Then they take them into college and now they on the court and they already know all y'all talking about they not real ball, they not real athletes and shit. They go on the floor and they play. Okay, shut the fuck up. Jason Whitlock, you are a piece of shit. I'm gonna get to you in a second. But I just want to say, Ryan, what he said about Robert Griffin III, I agreed with it 100%. And anybody coming back with, well, your wife is white, you missed the whole point because the point was not that his wife was white. He actually defended his wife. What he said was, you are attacking young black girls and you are doing this because you have a problem with yourself. You have a problem with being black yourself. You are just like every other coon running around chasing white women because you think they're a prize, chasing white attention and what's it, reinforcement because you think that's elite and that's what's hot. And that's what Ryan was telling you. And a lot of you think that the way to do that is to attack these black women, attack these young girls and call them ghetto and all this shit. Y'all think that's the way that you get hot with the white folks. And that's what he was telling you. And he was telling you that you have a white wife. And that is why you think it's comfortable to do that. Because if you had a black wife, a real black wife, you would understand and she would let you know to leave them fucking girls alone and stop talking about them like that. And you objectify your white wife. That's what Ryan brought her up for because he was showing how you really are just doing all of this for white validation because you look at your white wife the way most coons like you do as some trophy and holding them over black women like you superior, like you won the lottery because you got a white woman. That's why Ryan brought your wife. But what he actually said was the way you're always describing her as milk, like just basically focusing on her being white, her white skin. And he was like, and I've met her and she's actually more than that. What he was saying is she's actually, a decent lady, but that's all you want to talk about with her. She's not actually, what you want to reduce her to. That's what he was saying. So if you come back with, well, you missed the whole point because it wasn't about interracial. It wasn't about you dating white women. It was about you hating your fucking self and taking it out on these, black girls the way all of you coon ass wannabe white ass white man's ice is colder ass niggas do. That's was his point and was well made and 10 out of 10 no notes, perfectly articulated and perfectly expressed. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to my favorite topic, and it's not quite Pride yet, but it's coming up. So if you follow women's basketball, then it has been, I think for like the past at least last year and a half, it has been a kind of, and I'm going to say, rumored with quotes around it, that Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd and are an item. And if you don't, I think most people know who Paige Beckers is. Let me just tell you this before I go into this. Another reason why I say Caitlin Clark is not as good as everybody hypes her up to be, because Paige Beckers has played 3 games in the WNBA. She's number 1 draft pick this year, coming out of UConn, after winning them their 12th chip after being injured and missing 2 seasons. Let me tell you something. No disrespect to South Carolina, and I'm not saying they would not have won, but the default championship game is UConn and South Carolina. And the reason why it hasn't been UConn is because Paige got hurt and then AZ got hurt, okay? And so they had like a 2-year span where like their best play, and I think KK even was hurt for a little bit. They had a 2 to 3 year span, 2-year span, yeah, because Paige senior, yeah, 2 years. Paige got hurt, I believe, in her sophomore year, like the beginning of her sophomore year, she got injured. Okay, and so that little gap when they didn't have they big ballers, SC, not saying SC wouldn't have won, but LSU and a lot of them, Iowa, the Final Four without UConn was because of that. Okay, Paige Beckers has been her first WNBA game. Paige Beckers was double teamed out the gate, and you know why? Because Paige Beckers is the truth. Paige Beckers is who y'all think Caitlin Clark is. Paige Beckers has an all-around game that needs to be double teamed or she's going to bust your ass, okay? She hasn't broken out quite yet because it's still a learning curve, and and she's still got to get in the weight room, but she's had, double doubles. She already had, I think, 2 double doubles, and Dallas, she's on it. Dallas is rebuilding, and they got Enrique, who is just, and we'll talk about that before, but they are a lottery team, so they're trying to get their rhythm. They got real good defense though, and they're not losing by much. That's the thing. They're gonna break out. Once they get it together, they're gonna break out because they're not losing by much. And 5-6 points, they're not losing by a whole lot, but it's a lottery team. But Paige Beckers is the one that y'all think Caitlin Clark is. And you can watch the games and you can see that. And Caitlin, I'm not saying she doesn't score. She does. She looks really good on paper, but that's stats. When you watch the games, she does not dominate games the way that you all make it out to be. And people keep saying, oh, she's not hitting the three. She's going cold. She's not hitting the threes because teams have adjusted and they figured out how to defend her on the three. And it's that you got to close her out quickly. You can't let her dribble and step back because she can shoot it from she's like Steph in that way. She can shoot it from anywhere. So if you give her any kind of room, she's going to take the shot and she might hit it. So you have to close out on her quickly. Once you close out on her, then you make her drive and pass. That's how you defend her. And that's why she hasn't been able to hit as many, okay? And it's going to get more and more because Caitlin Clark is good, but there are players in that game, Natasha Cloud, there are players in the WNBA who are, those girls, those women are ballers, okay? And they're pros and they're veterans. And Caitlin Clark is just not going to run around them like she do them college girls. She's just not, okay? Not saying she's not going to be good, but y'all gotta, if you know ball and you're watching this game, you'll see what we're saying. Yes, she can score, and her passing, Caitlin Clark, if you running anywhere on that court, she'll get you that ball. She'll see you and she'll get you that. She passes like Magic Johnson. Her passes are immaculate. Bounce pass, straight pass, any kind of pass, she's gonna find you. But anyway, for the best pass, so Paige Beckers is the number 1 recruit out of UConn. A lot of people don't seem to know who Azzi Fudd is. They call Azzi Fudd the People's Princess. All I'm gonna say is Azzi Fudd may likely be the number 1 or number 2 draft pick next year. If you don't know who Azzi Fudd is, watch the championship game where they beat SC. Her number is 35. Watch, that's Azzi Fudd. Azzi Fudd balls out. That's why at the Dallas games, when you see Azzi in the crowd, half of that crowd was because Azzi is a baller. Okay, so for the past year and a half, there has been like I said, rumor, quote fingers, that those two are dating. Now, the gay community, the lesbian community, the dyke community, the bull daggers, whatever you want to say, we have been known. It is so obvious that these girls are, they don't hide it. They all on TikTok. They all on, if you don't want to take my word for it, just go to TikTok and search Azzi and Paige or Instagram, wherever you want to go. Videos all over the place. People have been catching them on all over this is a known, quote fingers, secret. It's not, this is the difference between privacy and secrecy. It's not been a secret. They've just been private. Not even really private. They just have not openly said we're dating, but they don't need to say it. Like, listen. this is when straight people really get on gay people's nerves, because the straight world, they are still calling them best friends. There's this whole backlash. Why are you guys trying to make them gay? You're always trying to make them gay. They can just be best friends, normalize best friends. Bitch, best friends are already normalized. What the fuck are you talking about? Listen, lesbians, gay people, not so sure gay men, but gay women, we know when two women are touching each other's pocketbooks, okay? You can't tell us when we do not jump out of window like y'all do. Anytime y'all see two people together, y'all put them together. No. We know what best friends look like. Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, they are best friends. You see how they slapping high fives and giggling. That's best friends. What Paige and AZ give is not best friends. And if you think it is, I don't know what to tell you, because it is not. Them girls are been together, okay? We don't know how long, but AZ, first of all, AZ gives a lot of daddy energy. Let me just say, AZ looked amazing at that dress. But like, so they were at the draft. They were at last year's draft too, but Paige wasn't getting drafted. But they were at the draft today. This year. AZ, listen, AZ Fudd, I'm familiar with your game. I see what you're doing. It is funny to me. Lesbian shit is, we see it. There are so many signals and so many obvious things being sent by them that we pick up on that clearly straight people are missing, because you guys are, y'all just don't be deep with y'all relationships and all that. Be very, I don't want to say shallow, but it's just very binary and very basic and very boy girl, which is like usually, the girl bending over backwards, dimming her light, or just, having to do so much to just shelter this guy's ego. That's usually what it is. Not everybody. So it's like, it's very basic and very uninteresting. But I say this, like, and we keep trying to tell y'all, it's very much like when you go to see that movie Sinners, when black people were saying, hey, Sinners, is Ryan Coogler is giving, it's a lot in there. It's a lot of black shit in there that black people are picking up on, that don't have to be said. What is understood don't need to be explained. Black people pick on it. Other people may pick up on it too, but a lot of people won't. Like, white people probably just think there's just little glances that the characters do, that's just this black shit. And you gotta be black to pick up on it. But if you're black, it's obvious to you. Like, the shit with Annie and cornbread and trying to get, it's just very obvious shit. That's how it works with gay. We be trying to tell y'all. When we tell you, particularly lesbians, like I said, the gay men's side, it's very similar. It's very similar, but I feel like even the gay men, I feel like they even more obvious, honestly. Like, but women, it can be very subtle unless you know what to look for, right? And basically, AZ Fudd was the only one at Paige's table at the draft. They took pictures on the carpet, but if you know the draft, they don't let your best friend sit with you. It's your mama, your daddy, your wife, your significant other. AZ was at the table by her fucking self. Yeah, Paige's mom and dad were there, but they were off to the side. It was AZ on the camera. They knew who that was, okay? Paige came to the table. AZ looked amazing. Paige, I see. She looked amazing. They don't call her the people's princess for nothing. AZ looked amazing, right? And I'm gonna do a sidebar in a second. So, and Paige comes to the table in her suit. Paige did like 3 outfit changes, each one more masked than the next. But y'all swearing she's not gay. Like, when gay people tell you something, especially about our community, just shut the fuck up. Cause y'all just shut the fuck up. Y'all are so annoying. Y'all try to make everybody gay. No, we don't try to make everybody gay, because we don't want everybody gay, because we think a lot of y'all are fucking flops, and we don't want you in our gilded club. Like, we just don't. So no, we don't try to make everybody gay, but we know fucking women touching pocketbooks when we fucking see it. And plus, like I said, just Google, just search. It has not even been a secret. It's not like they're trying to hide it. It's just that y'all are homophobic and don't want Paige to be gay, because y'all just don't. But I ask you this. Paige Beckers is way better than Caitlin Clark. She's way more attractive than Caitlin Clark. She got style. She got swag, even though the kids tell me it's called what is it, Riz and Aura. I can say Aura, but I'm not saying Riz. That sounds too much like Jidge. I'm not saying that. But Paige Beckers is, if you want a face of the league, it's not Caitlin Clark. It would be Paige Beckers. You know why it's not Paige Beckers? Two reasons. First one, because she actually spoke up and defended black women when they gave her Athlete of the Year. And two, because she's a fucking homosexual. That's the whole reason. And I never seen WNBA fight against their flow and their fan base more than ever. But anyway, Azzi's at the table. Okay, Paige sits down. And then Paige, right before she sits down, I'm giving y'all all the signals that we pick up that y'all miss, that y'all think we don't know what we're talking about. Right before Paige sits down, because Azzi turns and is going to say something to her, and Paige says, I'm mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. Letting Azzi know, hey, I got a mic on, so don't say nothing too crazy. That was the first thing people noticed. Okay, she tells her, because that's the only reason you would say that, right? She said a mic on. She sits down, they chit-chat or whatever. So then they call Paige, Dallas Wayne's Paige Beckers. Paige stands up. Azzi don't move. Now listen, y'all want to say they best friends. Now, my best friend, if I'm sitting there with my best friend, we just there as besties. We ain't together. As soon as she get picked, we high-fiving. Oh shit, yeah, that's my homie, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm shit. No. Azzi didn't do none of that. Azzi did not do any of that. Azzi sat there and waited for Paige to stand up. Paige stood up, cleared the chair, put the table back, then turned. Did she turn to her mother first? Nope. Did she turn to her father first? Nope. Who did she turn to? Azzi. And that's when Azzi rose up and gave her a hug and said, I love you. You read her lips, said I love you. People said they wanted to kiss there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. I didn't really get that. They just kind of hugged, I think. I don't think they kissed. I actually don't really. I'm trying to think of, like, you usually don't see kisses. You usually see hugs. Maybe they did. Maybe it was the angle. I didn't really. They said that it looked like Azzi went to kiss her, but I didn't see that. I just saw the hug. And she said, I love you. Now, if y'all think that's best friend behavior, fine. But I will direct you to, like I said, you go to TikTok, go to IG, search Paige and Azzi. They've been at Good Morning America. They go everywhere together. Best friends, sure. They go everywhere together, okay? Azzi has been on TikTok on her own page, okay? Posting. She got a page, this necklace. Listen, long story short, Azzi been on TikTok like, that's my man, okay? Azzi is sick and tired of y'all calling them best friends, okay? She keep letting y'all know that that's her motherfucking man, all right? And I'm using man on purpose. That's her motherfucking man. She been letting y'all know she wearing the number. She be wearing Paige's little clothes. She be it's clear. She be looking. I mean, you can tell the way they look at each other. First of all, if you got a best friend that look at you like that, y'all need to sit down and have a conversation, because it's more than best friends going on. The way they be staring in each other's eyes, okay? And you can even tell at the press conferences. The whole thing is funny to me, because everybody knows it, including everybody on UConn. And sometimes Sarah be sitting between them, and sometimes KK be sitting between them while they having a whole conversation with each other. And it's so obvious, and their teammates just be looking like, are we gonna keep doing this? Like, y'all just want to sit next to each other? It is so funny, because they will ask Paige something, and she'll blush and look at Azzi, and they just, I mean, it's like, when two people and nobody else in the world matters or is there, that's how Paige and Azzi be at these press conferences, and they whole team just be sitting there like, it's very funny to watch, because it is so obvious what is going on. So that's what people first picked up on. Plus, like I said, they go on dates, they on TikTok. It's obvious they done been caught on cruises, and it's not like they're being secret, they're just being private. And I mean, there's several reasons for that. First of all, they're on the same team, and so, listen, the WNBA is gay. It's gay league. It's like, but not as many players are gay as you think. People say 50-50. I think it's probably more like 70-30, 60-40, gay to not gay, but it's a gay league, and you just have to accept that. And if you can't, then I just don't watch, and that's why I have a problem with the way this is marketed, because it's like you're never gonna get the men who appreciate the game, and it's a lot, honestly, that watch it. They don't care about that. They're watching the ball, and y'all keep trying to bring these I don't even know what audience you're trying to bring. You got the audience, okay? Paige, if you were smart, Paige is the one. And when AZ comes in, because AZ is a bad bitch. You don't believe me? Go on and watch AZ. The People's Princess. Now that's somebody that you need to you can really push, okay? Because everybody love AZ, all right? But anyway, go on TikTok, you'll see them. I thought it was really funny. So yesterday at Paige's game, I think AZ is just fed the fuck up, because AZ has been doing every fucking thing she can. Because even the pictures that AZ posted on her TikTok on draft day. Clearly, she put a track over it. She is clearly saying that they are a couple. This is my man, my man, my man. That is if that was a girl and a boy, y'all, it would be no question. But people are just, oh no, they're best friends. She got a picture of she sitting down adjusting her dress. Like, I guess her dress is opening her dress, but I'm not really sure. But she's adjusting her dress, right, at her breast, and Paige is sitting next to her, looking like at whatever she's doing, looking down. I can't even explain the picture. Some of you may have seen it. If that is not best friends. That is not best friends. I'm sorry. You don't put that track over. I forgot what track it is, but it's not a best friend. This is my best friend track. It's not that track. That look. It's just. Y'all, come on. It's getting really ridiculous. So yesterday, AZ was at the game again. That's another thing. She's front row at Paige's games. Yes, we are best friends, sure, but like, I'm front row all of your games. Now, Paige and KK, that's the guard for UConn, the other guard for UConn, they are best friends. They are best friends. Okay? That's her homegirl. KK's always there for her, but not at every fucking game, So, yesterday at the at the Wings game, AZ was there again. And like I said, AZ Fudd is a huge star in women's basketball. She's coming in. Everybody talking about Juju, all that, yes. But if you know ball, AZ Fudd is that girl. She's everywhere. She's a star. So when she's at courtside, you see her, and you see the millions of fans coming down trying to get her autograph, because she's almost, maybe even more popular than Paige. I'm not really sure, but they close. They are a beautiful couple. They are equally yoked. Both of them girls can ball, right? So and because she's AZ Fudd and she, UConn national champion, and I think this was done on purpose, and I think everybody was being shady, because everybody knows these two are fucking dating, right? So they interview AZ at halftime, and one more thing about draft day. Not only, but AG put out a separate video. You know how your mama or your wife or whatever, or your kids put out the video, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I look up to you. You've made all your dreams. AG put one of those out for Paige. That is not best friend behavior, okay? That's my man, and I'm putting this video out, okay? Okay, back to my story. So, interviewing AZ halftime, and the reason why I say it was on purpose, because even the host was like, she was like looking, like winking and giggling and shit, like, girl. So she was like, she was talking to AZ, and she was like, so we have Paige's former teammate AZ Fudd, and AZ kind of cut her eye, like, okay, like it was the most, I'm sick of this shit eye cut I have ever seen, right? Because low key, I know y'all say Paige. I mean, Paige is definitely the boy, but AZ gives daddy energy to me. Like, if you know AZ Fudd, the way AZ gives big top energy to me. So she cut her eye at her, like, if you don't stop fucking playing with me about this former teammate bullshit, right? So they interviewing her, and I thought it was funny because they was asking AZ about winning the chip, talking about herself. Clearly, because, I'm AZ Fudd. And then she asked her about Paige, which was funny because she did that I feel like that was done on purpose. AZ cut her eye, but then it was funny because AZ was like, because the host was like, yeah, you know, she had such and such point. AZ ran them stats down like a fucking a coach's wife, bitch. AZ was like, yeah, she averaged 22, 10 boards? She had 3. Her defense, she had 5. I mean, AZ was like, oh, you okay? So since you want to be funny, and she was like the Jackie Christie gift where she be in the bed with her face. AZ was like 10 boards, 3 defense, 2 steals. AZ was like, my man, right? So funny to me. So I think that shit fed AZ the fuck up, because AZ been posting, letting people know. Everybody was like, child, AZ trying to let the hoes of Dallas know that is her man. Leave her the fuck alone, because I don't know no other reason that you would purposely put that you are wearing a number 5, that's Paige's number 5 necklace around your neck, all up in the camera, like, yeah, bitch. Like, that's staking a claim, right? So I think that fed AZ the fuck up, because the next, AZ went straight to Twitter, and her and Paige were out again somewhere in Dallas, and AZ was like, it was like a skit, because they always do, and that's the other thing. The reason why this rumor first started is because they would her and AZ would always make like these dance videos. You know, Paige do that anyway. They would always make like these dance videos, but people started noticing, like, wait, it's a little bit more. For instance, like whenever, so I call this the I'm fucking hand, but like whenever they would go somewhere or like just do anything, Paige would always put her hand in the small of AZ's back. Now I call that the fuck hand. The first time, so sidebar, back when it was rumors swirling about Janelle and Tessa, I wasn't really sure. I was like, I don't know, right? Because I just wasn't really sure. But what convinced me, even before when the video came out, I was like, oh yeah, because I saw the chemistry. But they were at one of them award shows, I can't remember which, and Janelle was giving Tessa an award. And Tessa accepted the award, gave like a very good speech. It was one of them women in Hollywood, I can't recall. But when she was done and ready to go, Janelle stepped back up and put her hand in the small of her back. And I was like, okay. That's weak fucking hand. If you don't think it is, straight women, listen to this, because this has happened to me before, and I know it's probably happened to you, especially if you're good looking. You remember when you was in high school or you was in college and you was standing around with your friends or whatever, y'all talking, and that one dude, you know, that would come over and be like, hey, and try to put his hand around your waist, and you would take that hand off your waist like, nigga, what is you doing? Don't try to play me like that. Why did you do that? Because that is the we fucking hand around your waist, and he trying to come over and trying to play like y'all got something going on that y'all really don't, and that little slick shit. So that's why I call it the we fucking hand. When you with somebody that you not really rocking with like that, or y'all not close like that, or y'all not having tasted each other spit like that, not to be nasty, but y'all know, y'all seen Mary do it. You gonna grab that hand immediately and take it from around your waist. That's not like putting your hand over somebody's shoulders, which still might be a thing, but it's not like coming up, that ain't a where my hug at type deal. When somebody come put their hand down in the small of your back, that's means something. So that's how Paige always, like when they walk in, she opened the door for AZ, and every time she'll put her hand there. When they take pictures together, she puts her hand there. Best friends, either they just gonna stand next to each other or they gonna put their hand around. So y'all know how best friends pose. That ain't that pose, right? So I guess AZ, being called Paige's former teammate pissed AZ the fuck off, because AZ posted on Twitter, like, look. So she posted her and Paige at the restaurant, and the caption was, she always spoils me, spoiled. Because she was like, how much did it cost? It was $200, and Paige looked like it was $200, and then AZ was like, oh, that's not that much. And then they flicked the camera back to Paige, and Paige was like, well, yeah, it's not that. So I'm like, okay, so that's a hard launch. We go together, because I thought the WNBA thing was kind of a soft launch, more so like a soft launch in that, like all the things I told y'all. Oh, I'm sitting at her table, we not gonna say nothing, but like clearly this is us coming out as a couple, and I think probably because now that Paige has graduated, it's not so much of an issue, because, you know, when you on the same team, y'all playing on the same team, I get, you know, all right, let's just, you know, not be too. I mean, it's clearly be together, but like we still got to play on the team. We got to be professional. We don't want. It's kind of like when you fucking in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? You can't really. You know, you might cause problems. So, but now that Paige has graduated, I think that's why they like more of the soft launch. So I just thought that was funny because AZ was like, "Look, I'm tired of this Paige's teammate bullshit, right?" Like, so clearly they are together, and I think they are. Like I said, first of all, they're a very attractive couple. AZ is very cute. They don't call her the people's princess for nothing, right? Paige, I think is the white girls love Paige. The white girls, boy, they love some Paige Beckers, and I think that's why AZ is doing all this. Like, hey, bitches, just so you know, don't get fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, AZ decided to do one more year at UConn to try to see if they can repeat. I think they got a good chance. We're gonna see how South Carolina re-ups because we know they will. Dawn always does. But I think they got a good chance. Listen, I have told y'all before, I am a UConn women's basketball fan since way back. That's my team. I think that's the dynasty. They have 12 chips. I think they are a program of excellence. I think all the pros. I can't think of one pro player from UConn that is not one of the best in the WNBA. Can't think of not one. And this is over since 2000. And like I said, I've been saying a lot of you. I mean, this Diana Taurasi just retired. That's the end of an era. Diana Taurasi retiring is like when Kobe or Jordan retired. It's the end of an era. End of an era. The era of Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi, all of those. Like I keep telling y'all, if y'all just now coming to the WNBA, welcome, and you're about to step into another golden era. You are, but you have missed. Actually, to this point, the most talented players to come through. If you watch the Lynx, they talk about the Lynx. Seattle, the Lynx have won back to they have been elite franchises. They have won several championships. Phoenix, my team, the Mercury, have won 3. Y'all miss Candace Parker, Cheryl Swoops, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Della Donna. It's so many Coop, Swoops, like so many of the very best women's basketball players. Lisa Leslie, y'all missed. If y'all haven't been watching since 2000, y'all missed it. So, and it's a shame. It's like basically, I mean, if you miss Jordan and Bird and Larry and them in them prime, like not saying that AI and Iverson and all of them, that was great too, but you missed that whole era. And if you're just getting into it now, this is actually a very good time to get into it. Like I said, some of the older players are retiring, and so it's and this next year's draft class, next year's draft class is gonna be serious. Juju, I expect to get back from her injury, and when them girls start coming in, this is why I said that I don't think it's realistic for Kate. I think Caitlin Clark trying to make her the face of the league is not gonna work because. Not because she's not good, but because first of all, she doesn't have the personality for it, in my opinion. Second of all, she is not such a standout player that she is going to be able to catch these players that are coming behind her. And Paige, wait till Paige breaks out, because I'm telling you, if they try to put Paige to the background, it's gonna be a fucking mistake, because Paige has the aura, like the kids say. Paige has the swagger. Them white girls love. Straight women is on TikTok talking about Paige Beckers. Okay, they love that girl. And I just think as these other players who are also elite players and who have personality, and no offense, who are good looking and who are comfortable in themselves, Caitlin's gonna fall to the back. They're gonna still try to push her, because that's what they do, the same way they try to push Rebecca Lobo for all them years. But I think it's gonna be harder and harder to do, because you're getting more and more eyes, and these younger girls and team, they know who these players are, okay? And they know Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna tell you this: Caitlin Clark's major fans are people who are not really fans of the game. They are fans of her as the white girl in the game, and I just don't think that's sustainable. Because at some point, that all this controversy and rigmarole, especially like I said, as the other players come in, that shit is gonna fall off, because it's you're gonna lose the people who are not coming for the game. You're just not gonna get them. Like, yes, her and Angel had 2.7 million views, but that's because people want to see her and Angel. It ain't just Caitlin Clark. They want to see her and Angel. They want to see that rivalry. And what I'm saying is, as the more players come in, it's gonna be better rivalries and it's gonna be better teams. And I just don't know if they're gonna push it because they always do, but I just don't know if that's gonna sustain. Same way they push Rebecca Lobo over Sue Bird and Diamond Frost. And Sue Bird and Diamond Frost used to talk about that all the time. That, look, it's other players out here. They stood up for the other player. Like, you got me, but you got Cheryl Swoops, you got Tamika, you got all these other great players out here that are not getting attention because they're black. They said that. And so since they said that, they didn't want to focus on them outside the championship. But you see, Diana Taurasi, she got the aura. Sue Bird, everybody likes because she's cool as fuck, and she always got her sneaker game on. Like, it's I never seen a league fight against its flow as much as WNBA. You have the talent, you have the personality, you have the charisma there, but you won't use it because you're trying to appeal to, I don't know who it is you're trying to appeal to, that you think Caitlin Clark is the way. All you're appealing to is incels and bigots who not interested in the women's game at all. They're just interested in the fucking chatter around it. And that's not how you're going to grow the league. Because they're not there for the ball. They're not buying tickets. They're not coming to the games. Or if they are, it's to do stunts. Sleeping on a bench and all that shit, to do stunts and stupid shit. They're not there for the game. And you have a whole lot of people who really want to see the game and who are really there for that. And I feel like you should lean into that. But I just had to get that out. I think the Paige and AZ thing, because the Dykes, the lesbians, we've been knowing this forever. It's not even a secret. It's just like they don't say anything. It only became a controversy because you got the people on straight people saying that we pitching them and we just trying to make, and it's like, girl, are y'all dumb? Look at how they look at each other. Just look at how you don't even got to look at the other shit. Look at how they look at each other. Those are girls who are touching pocketbooks. That is not a best friend stare. Like, get out of here. So congrats to them. It's just very funny to me that AZ, because I feel like AZ has been trying to be like, I mean, it's not that Paige hides it, but Paige is more cool and laid back, and I think Paige's attitude is like, duh. But AZ is just like, excuse me. AZ been like, excuse me, best friend. What the fuck? Don't you see me at this table with these titties out? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You think I would show up for my best friend? It is so funny. And that interview, she was just fed up. You can tell. If you watch that video again, when she said Paige's former teammate, AZ cut, because she said it. The thing is, the announcer knew it. And she said it to be funny. She said it like, here goes AZ for Paige's former teammate. Kind of like, this is what they making me say on the card, but we know. And AZ cut her eyes like, all right, bitch, that's it. I had enough of this shit. And like, not even, like an hour after the game, not even, she posted that on Twitter, like, bitch, y'all gonna stop playing with the people's princess. Oh my God. Anyway, Paige Beckers is, one of my, it probably might be my favorite. I like Paige a lot. I like Angel a lot. I just like players to play with tenacity, and I like players that have an edge to them, and I like players that like come in and they're not intimidated. You know what I mean? Because a lot of it is like a learning curve from the pros to WNBA. But I like those players that come in and it's like, yo, I could play in this league. Like Candace Parker came in dunking on bitches. Like, y'all, I don't give a fuck about all this rookie shit. I'm about to come play in this league. And so Paige, listen, watch tape of Paige. And Paige, like I said, she was hurt for a year and a half. But if Paige had not gotten hurt, y'all would not have heard of Caitlin Clark like this because Iowa wouldn't have made it. I'm just letting you know. Because Paige Beckers is a beast. And if you don't think she is, watch how they guard her now. And she's still getting her double-double. She hasn't quite broken out yet. And a lot of it is because the coach they have is terrible. He don't know how to use their players. And she's playing with Enrique Ungawale, who needs to learn that she's not used to playing one-on-one ball and being the only option on that team. And she has to start understanding that she's not now, or she's gonna get traded, right? Like, girl, you gotta stop pulling up these goddamn threes. You got Paige wide open on the wings, pass the fucking ball, right? And Paige is also another immaculate passer. She's really good. Paige will find you. She's not, her passing game is a little different than Caitlyn's, and that Caitlyn, listen, Caitlyn gonna see where you, Caitlyn see where you going, where she need to pass the ball before you even get there. Like, she'll see 2 or 3 moves ahead, and she'll have the ball where you're gonna be at. Paige is more of a on the move, keep my head up and I'm gonna find you open passer, but you know, and she's real good at it. Like, she's gonna get you the ball and make the good pass. But Paige's game is more, I'm trying to think, like, who Paige's game is more like, where she just, Paige's are just all around. There's no weakness in Paige's game, none. You got to double team her, because if you don't, she's gonna score. She has a 3, she can pass, she can dribble. She's very good on defense. She, under her basketball intelligence, is very high. So, like, you'll see. There's no weakness in Paige's game, and that's why Paige is not. You notice. When I say dominance on the court, you can't always watch stats. You have to look at the games and the tension that players draw, and the defenses that are played on them, and how tight they're played, and the effect they have on the game. And Caitlin Clark, outside of them having to guard for that 3, she's not dominating. She's not standing out. You know who's standing out? Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston is balling out on Indiana. Okay? And Caitlin setting her up with the pass is true, but what I'm saying is, like, she's not as dominant as people who are not watching the games and just reading sheets are trying to make it. Oh, she had a triple double. Yeah, she had a triple double. Yes, but they lost. You know what I mean? Like, because the other team, maybe they didn't have one player with a triple double, but they fucking knew how to play and D up and to win the game, right? To neutralize, right? So that's all I'm saying. One last thing I want to say, and I've been wanting to say this for a while. If you follow Queen Latifah on Instagram, we all recently found out that her and her wife have a son. We had no idea, but on Mother's Day, she posted him. But what I wanted to say is, she called herself Daddy. And that tickled me so much, because we've been calling Queen Latifah Daddy for the longest time. I've been saying she give off daddy energy. That's another lesbian thing. If y'all don't get it, because y'all think that the more masculine or the quote fingers boy is always the daddy, that is not always true. And with Paige and Azzi, I don't think it's true. I think Azzi is the dad. Azzi give big top energy to me. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but she does. It's not always that. So I've been calling Tifa Daddy for the longest, and she finally called herself Daddy. She was like, because it was from the son's viewpoint. It was like, oh, I found my mommy, and then I found my daddy, and it showed Queen Latifah. I was like, okay, Big Teef, yes. That tickled me so much, because she finally acknowledged it. But yeah, so that's this episode. The game is about to come on. I actually wanted to record this because the Liberty, who are 3-0, are about to play. Is it the Liberty? Yeah, they're about to play the Indiana again. Wait a minute. I know Indiana's playing. Yeah, I think it's a back-to-back. But anyway, I could be wrong about it. No, because it was definitely Clayton Clark. I think it is. Anyway, game about to come on. But, and Kathy, oh my God, can we please get a new commissioner? Why are all 4 of these games on at the same time? Nigga, we want to watch all the games. Good thing I got multi-view on YouTube, and then on YouTube TV, and then I got the laptop too. But, like, goddamn, like, stop putting games on at the same time. I want to see Chicago, and I want to see the Liberty. And my team is Phoenix. My team is New York Liberty and Phoenix Mercury. Those are my 2 top teams. This other teams, I like Dallas. Gonna be my team now because Paige is on it, but my team is Phoenix, and I'm glad they doing all right. A Turner's out there eating it up. I was a little worried because they lost T Cloud, who's like my favorite guard, and Brittany got shipped to Atlanta. But actually, we look good. We 2-1, and really should be 3-0. We fucked that one game off, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to the season. I'm excited. Liberty tickets are expensive as hell, but I'm gonna try to catch one game at least, either here or in Washington. I prefer here though. But all right, yeah. That was episode 365. Thanks for asking. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all asking me for episodes, and I'm gonna keep doing them. I'm gonna try to get them out as regular as I can. Yeah, but enjoy your Memorial Day. That's for the people who died, not for the people who live. I have to give y'all my annual announcement every year. Please do not wish me happy Memorial Day because I'm still above ground. Thank you so much. Wish me happy Veterans Day. Anyway, have a good weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Peace.